Well, alright, what is up y'all? Soul here and welcome back to my story mode. So I'm sure that by now most of you already know how this works. As per usual, I'm still a talker and I've got a couple of things to say that aren't 100% related to the main point of the video. So if that's what you want to skip to, I'm gonna go ahead and put the timestamps right down below for you so you could get right to the main point. So let me start off by saying I've been having a blast with Pokemon Unite for the last week. Say what you will about this being a League of Legends ripoff, or that Tencent's a garbage company, or Pokemon yet again takes another low blow and makes yet another Pokemon game that requires some kind of microtransactions to really get ahead of the curve, I've been having fun. If nothing else, it serves as a phenomenal pastime for when I just want to turn my brain off for a couple of hours. Now don't get it twisted, I am by no means amazing at this game or anything yet. I'm still trying to learn a couple of different characters and get into my comfort zone, so that's why I'm not really going wild in ranked right now. I played one ranked match, won, and then stepped the hell out because I do not want to take the risk of not playing a ranked game without a team that I can actually communicate with properly. Hence why I've finally gotten a couple of my buddies to download the game and play it with me. Oh, those poor fools. So whatever may happen, the gameplay that you're probably seeing up on the screen right now is most likely me just playing in random quick play matches, just so I can, get a feel for new characters, maybe try out Gardevoir who just came out recently. I don't know, but if I'm playing bad, just remember that I'm still new to this MOBA thing. Last thing I wanted to say is, since I'm having so much fun with Pokemon Unite, that means I do not mind making content on it. I do have another video idea in mind that I really think you guys are gonna like, but I just want to make sure that's alright with you guys. Just make sure to leave comments and likes and things like that to make sure that this is okay, because this is not the kind of content that I normally do when it comes to Pokemon. We usually don't focus on the side stuff, we usually focus on the mainline games and things that could change there. However, I'm sure that everyone and their mother can agree that we've ran every type of speculation that we can when it comes to Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl and Pokemon Legends into the frickin' floor. Hence why this style of video is so odd to me, but it is a very welcome change of pace. So, let me know what you guys think. However, I think we're gonna go ahead and start moving into the main point of the video. So, at this point in time, we've officially had Pokemon Unite for about a week. And quite clearly, I am not the only person that changed their minds about how they feel towards Pokemon Unite. Despite how often I post on Twitter, I am on Twitter fairly often, and I can see everywhere that everybody is having a very good time with Unite for the most part. People are already picking apart very useful techniques and strategies to get around opponents and things like that, using underpowered characters, overpowered characters, or maybe somebody in between. Who knows? What I do know is that I'm somewhat looking forward to seeing where this game goes. Whether or not that path is good or bad kinda depends on Tencent and the player base, so we'll just have to see how things play out. Okay, so then what is this video about right now? Well, since this is meant to be a very long-term game and I started it right from the get-go, I decided that every couple of checkpoints I'd give updates on my feelings toward the game. Currently, it's a week later. Eventually, it'll be a month later. Eventually, it'll be a couple of months later. And then, it'll be a year later. I kinda wanted to do a mini-series situation where I keep tabs on things that I liked about the game and things that I don't like about the game and see what changes. This is a MOBA after all, meaning that this game is meant to be around for a very long time. And believe it or not, a couple of months to a year is a lot of time for a game to undergo some very serious changes. And so here we are with this video. I'm going to be talking about a lot of the aspects that I like about Pokemon Unite and things that I'm not such a big fan of right now. So to kick things off, why don't we start talking about the good pieces of Pokemon Unite, the things that I really do enjoy. I think a good place to start off is simply the fact that most of the characters in this game that are available right now are very easy to just pick up and learn. You see a Pokemon that you enjoy very much from the mainline games? Hey, try them out, maybe they're a good character this time around, and even if they're not, if you play them correctly, you could definitely make them a good character. For example, the first Unite license that I bought was actually for Gengar, and when I tried him out for the first time, I wasn't really a huge fan at first. So I figured, alright, I'll circle back to Gengar, let me try a couple of other characters, maybe I just don't know how to use them yet. A couple of matches later, I'm playing against a Gengar, and that thing practically sweeps my entire team soloed. And see, I wasn't even angry about it, I was just surprised. I was like, okay, good to know that Gengar's a phenomenal character. I will be coming back to him real soon. Now, usually this would be one of those typical cases where other people just know how to make other characters look good because they know what they're doing. Now you see though, here's what's different. I'm not turned away from trying out any of the characters that are available on this roster. For example, in Overwatch, there's simply characters that I just do not want to play. I know it's a very weird comparison, and I know that's very strange, but there's just characters that I just do not care to try out or play ever again. I will if necessary, but that doesn't mean I'm going to be very happy about it. In terms of Pokemon Unite, I'm super game to play as Snorlax. I'm super down to play as Eldegoss. Or Edelgoss. I'm actually not 100% sure how you pronounce it, but somebody got on me about that last time. Get mad at me if you will. Edelgoss, Eldegoss, I know the Pokemon. I know Pokemon, believe me. Anyhow, the gist of it is, I'm just really glad to not have to feel any reluctance when it comes to playing as certain characters. Even if some are better than others, clearly, all of them are fun. They all have their own unique thing about them, and honestly, I think that they're all worth trying. The next thing that I want to talk about is the fact that selecting teams works way better than I originally imagined it would. Yeah, sure, you only start off with about 2 or 3 Unite licenses, however, there's characters that are always in rotation just in case you don't have that character yet. And obviously, they made it so that we can't ditto other characters that are already picked on our team, because that would make no sense. There's no benefit to having 5 Pikachus running around on the field. Every couple of hours or so, there's a new cycle of characters for people to try out. And again, since we're actually at the beginning of things, there's a little bit of balance. People are actually picking up characters slowly but surely and learning on the job. If one of the characters that they actually want to play as isn't available in the rotation at that current time, they're kind of forced into trying a different character. However, that's not necessarily a bad thing. It kind of forces everybody to get a hang on different characters instead of just one, so that when the situation calls for it, they're ready to go. Even if we're not necessarily forced in the roles, somebody may look at their team and be like, huh, I think we're missing a little bit of defense, and sit there and pick Slowbro or maybe Snorlax. Whatever the case may be, one way or another, gaps are filled in when necessary, and I think that's really neat that that just kind of works out that way. One of the last couple of good things I want to say is that I'm very glad that this game is going to have consistent free updates with new characters and updates giving us incentive to come back. Like I said, it's only been a week and we already got a whole new character, Gardevoir. Now, I haven't done any research or anything because I haven't really looked into it, so I'm not sure if Gardevoir is really all that good or not yet. However, this inclusion is just generally really exciting. It means that we have a lot of new Pokemon to look forward to as this game is ongoing. Eventually, we're going to have such a fat roster of Pokemon, we're not going to know what to do with ourselves. So just generally speaking, I'm really looking forward to seeing what that roster is going to look like a couple of months from now. We got Gardevoir, who I didn't even know was coming. I think we have Blastoise on the way, which is really exciting. And honestly, I think I'm just so excited because I'm so used to not having access to characters without having to buy them first through a battle pass that this is so refreshing to me. Not only are Pokemon just likely to keep coming to us for the next couple of years, but they're gonna be free access. So as of right now, I'm really excited to see what Pokemon they decide to shadow drop on us next. Okay, so I think that just about does it for the things that I do like. Why don't we flip that coin over and talk about the things that I'm not such a huge fan of right now. Why don't we start with the glaringly obvious? This game is 100% pay to win. So here's my thing. It's one thing to be able to buy a bunch of currency and buy Unite licenses or something so that the rotation weighting doesn't really apply to you. You have a character that you main and that you want to play as all the time? Fine, whatever. If you paid for it, that's up to you. Here's my problem though. Not only do we have access to held items to power up our Pokemon, but we can upgrade those held items. And I think that the worst part is the fact that we can buy currency necessary to upgrade said items. So basically speaking, if you plan to be a whale for Pokemon Unite and you just get started, if you really wanted to, you could instantly upgrade any held item that you have at the beginning to the max. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure you could just buy all the held items and then max them all out. So then when you're placed out on the field with some relatively new players, you're whooping their asses no problem because your items are so much stronger than theirs, assuming they even have held items on. And then when it comes to the free-to-play players, their held items are nowhere near as strong as yours. And then you just kind of win. You win out every single encounter you have on the battlefield because you are simply just that much stronger than they are, simply because you got your held items maxed out before they could. Newer players are going to be out on the field like, wait a minute, why is that Lucario moving so much faster than my Lucario? How in the world did they heal themselves that much? Do they have a potion on? Mine doesn't do nearly as much healing. That Venusaur's solar beam is atrocious. Where did all of that power come from? Mine doesn't do nearly as much damage. You see how absurd that sounds? Imagine going into ranked and losing out that much just because everybody on the opposing team is a pay-to-play. I have no doubt in my mind that there's already plenty of people who paid an absurd amount of money to max out all of their items and are kicking ass, absolutely mopping the floor in ranked right now. Frankly, I'm just scared of the day that they decide to raise that level cap for whatever reason, because when they do, it's about to be a little bit of a problem. But I guess we'll cross that nightmare bridge when we get to it. Long story short, items should not be upgradable at all, period. In a game like this one, there should be nothing more than skill and strategy that helps you get the edge over your opponent. Not buyable items, that's BS. But hey, who am I? Welcome to the world of games, I guess. On a more minor note, the next thing that I kind of wanted to talk about is just the inconvenience of not knowing what characters are going to be in rotation. Maybe I've missed it or something like that, but it's kind of random to be able to have the character that you want to play as ready to go at one point and then all of a sudden they just kind of disappear on you. Like, hey, I was still kind of figuring out that character. Some kind of warning that they wouldn't be available for the next couple of hours or possibly days would be kind of nice. I guess what I'm asking is, I just want some kind of timer to let us know how much time we have left, so that we could keep track of how much longer we have to play those characters. I think I'd just like to know when that timer resets. Does it reset at midnight? I don't know. I just think it'd be nice to see, that's all. My last problem is actually with my teammates, specifically the ones that decide to just up and leave mid-match, losing or not. All of a sudden I'll recognize that we're losing. I'm like, wait a minute, where do we need help at? We need help at top and bottom, but we have 2 people on each. Where's player 5? Only to finally look back at the map and realize that player 5 has been sitting at spawn for the last 3 to 5 minutes because it's just a useless CPU that didn't get a command 3 minutes earlier. So it was just sitting there, being completely useless, not doing anything because nobody bothered to go back and give it commands, because nobody knew it was back there. Now don't get it twisted, I do understand that actual players can't just be shoved into the middle of a match. I mean, theoretically it could work, but that's just never how it's worked. I don't know how that would operate properly. Either way, it just wouldn't work. Fine. But you're telling me we can't at least get some kind of CPU to control the missing player? Like, why is it that we manually ourselves have to tell the CPU, yeah, it's okay to move and help us out on the battlefield? Like, what? It's just so easy to miss. Why is that a thing? Does this happen in other MOBAs the exact same way? Somebody fill me in, because again, I'm very new to this, so I have no idea, but I do know that that irritates the hell out of me. Somebody who thinks that we might possibly be on the verge of maybe losing gives up way too early, and then we have a CPU just sitting at spawn for most of the match, and then we really do end up losing because we had no idea that that player left so long ago because we were focused on defending. Just saying, I think I'd rather at least have a crappy CPU with a mind of its own than a CPU that doesn't literally do anything until you tell it to. Especially because all that CPU does is follow right behind you, so it may give away your position and it may not even be all that helpful because it's not doing the right things. It's just following you. All I'm saying is there's gotta be a better way to do this. Maybe we'll get an update down the line, but I highly doubt it. So as of right now, that just about wraps it up for all of the goods and bads that I think when it comes to Pokemon Unite. Also, just in case anyone did notice, I apologize for sounding so nasally. I've been getting over like a little bit of an allergy cold for the last couple of days, so that's why I sound so like nasally, but we're getting there. I'm almost over it completely. Anyhow, despite the game's very glaring flaws, I'm having a lot of fun, and now that all of my friends are getting into it too, I could set up a real team, and maybe we could really take on ranked and see how well we could do. I also don't plan on spending too much money on this game, specifically because I wouldn't even want to be a pay-to-play player even if I had the option to. I also want to avoid giving as much money as possible to Tencent because they are very shady with their practices sometimes, so I think I'll take it a little easy when it comes to what I spend on this game. But with that, I think it's about a good time as any to go ahead and wrap it up here. But before that, I'm gonna pass the mic on to you guys. What do you guys think about the goods and the bads? Do you think this game is phenomenal and you're gonna keep playing for hours on end for the next couple of months? Have you already dropped the game? Did you even try the game because you already don't like it? I want to hear all of your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below, because you know that I'm always down there with you guys. Oh, and another thing, I really do want to hear if you guys want more Pokemon Unite content. Do not hesitate to tell me in the comment section below what you want me to talk about when it comes to Pokemon Unite. I'm super down. Like I said, I have another video planned because there's things that I want to talk about. Actually, if you made it to the end of the video, I'll just tell you what it is. I want to talk about what other Pokemon I want to come to Pokemon Unite. If you made it this far, you deserve to hear that. So if that's a video you guys are actually interested in seeing, make sure to let me know. Likes, comments, all of it. Subscriptions definitely help. Alright, that's how you guys let me know that that's what you want to see. But I'm gonna leave that to y'all. So I'm gonna go ahead and skedaddle on out of here. Thank you guys ever so much for watching. I truly do hope you enjoyed. Do me the greatest favor of dropping a like and a comment, and consider subscribing for more content just like this. And with that, I'm out. Thanks again, hope you enjoyed, and I'll be seeing you guys in the next video. Do me the greatest favor of taking good ass care, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!